Hello and welcome to another video. This is the Elm Bar Tub, and this is going to be a slightly different take on my normal videos. We're going to be actually looking at a new game today, but rather than me playing it in real time, talking as I play, I'm just going to sum up a little bit about what I've done so far in the game and see what I think of it and let you know really. So this one is called the Tenants. This is the free trial version. It's kind of like a demo, I would say. The full version is due to be released sometime in the future. When that is, I believe it's supposed to be around the 25th of March in terms of the full version. At least the early access full version of the game. But the free trial is out now on Steam. The developer is Ancient Forge Studio and the publisher is Frozen District. So just a quick word from Steam as to what they say about this game, and then I'll give my view on what I've done so far. You become a landlord and deal with problematic tenants as you build your rental empire. Will you rent your apartment to a college couple or an older lady with 4 cats? Try it yourself for free. So I've done just that. I've jumped straight in and I've taken I would be completely honest with you, a brief look at my first impressions of it. I may well continue to play it. Hopefully we'll find out just by seeing the video and seeing what I think of it, then you'll probably be able to determine if I'll continue playing. But we'll go from there. So one of the first things I would say, just from the sound of the game, the first game that sprang to my mind was actually, if you remember back, I believe it to be the maybe late 90s, early noughties, a game called Constructor, which was a game about property management, property construction, all that kind of, hence the name Constructor, and then filling it with tenants, claiming rent, all that kind of stuff. Really good game. Got me thinking of that, and actually the look of it just almost looked a bit similar. Lots of people have described this as being like The Sims crossed with House Flipper. So House Flipper being the renovation style game, pick your stylings, pick your decor, all of that sort of stuff, with The Sims being the people side of things. It's been described as a combination of the two, in certain places I've seen. So a quick look at the game then. So if we just start from the beginning in terms of the opening screen. Okay, so some basic general computer scroll speed options are there with language settings. Basically that's no more than you need to care about, to be honest. It's just some really simple things. The next one is the graphic screen. So I'm going to be playing in 1080p, high details of shadow level. All the other stuff is just very much displayed there, as you can see. There's nothing that scary about that. Very simple options. So we're going to start a game, and we're going to be choosing an avatar. So one of the first things to do is actually just choose a picture and a name. So again, standard things that you'd expect. And that's about it from the start, and you literally just jump in based on that. So nothing out of the ordinary at this stage. So the idea of the game is you take on the role of a landlord come painter and decorator type person, and the game will throw you straight into a tutorial. So really basic things: how to move the camera around, how to zoom in, zoom out, how to interact with objects in the game, just cleaning up your first room or building in the form of a camper van or caravan in this particular case, and you just learn the really basic things that you would anticipate for a game like this. So brush that aside very easily. You then move into the real world. So you go into a city type environment, complete with moving traffic, moving pedestrians, a day and night cycle. Not sure about weather, possibly something that I've not come across yet or they're going to introduce, but generally quite a nice looking, bustling, bright environment. So you've got the standard environments of the city. You've got what seems like industrial areas, and you've got railway, you've got flats, apartments, parks, all sorts of things with lots of things going on all the time that you can freely move around and look at, zooming in and zooming out to your heart's content really. So quite a nice looking game. Can't complain with any of that so far, to be quite honest, but very good big area for the city to be in. So what you end up doing is having a main task running in the game. And the first thing you have to do is to get started is for the first house you are given, you have to connect it to the gas and electric to get it operable for you to deck out and then rent out. So to earn the money for that, you have to take on jobs, and you have to do that by accessing your mobile phone, looking to see what jobs are available, and then opting to go and complete the work. So these jobs range from things like redecorating bedrooms, bathrooms, living rooms, and to be able to achieve those things, you have to fulfill certain criteria. So you go into a place that needs a bedroom, for example, you have to, by minimum, put a bed in, put a cabinet in, that sort of thing. So you just earn money by doing that on a certain budget, complete the job in time and well, pending inspection from some estate agent type character who'll come around and snoot at all of the work you have done. You'll receive your monetary reward, and all of that money will then go towards the main task of setting up your own house to rent out. Once you've done all of that and you can rent out your own house, you then get to interact with your tenants. So then you see another aspect of the game. So not just the redecoration side. This is when you move into your landlord side. So once you've done out your house in the way you would want to do it, you then do something called an open house, which is like a home view thing. People will come around and look at the way you've done things, and they will be able to interrogate the decor, the stylings, the furniture you put into the house, and they will potentially then make you an offer for renting the particular building, and you can negotiate that, and you can find out a bit about your tenants as well. You can see what they do for work, how old they are, personality, things like that. Once you've selected someone, it's not over there either. Once you've moved them in, they can contact you with problems and things like that. And on my first instance, moved somebody in and they had an issue with these humongous cockroaches. So they contact you, they say, oh, I've got a problem with this and that. And then I had to send somebody round with a bug sprayer, and you basically eradicate the problem. So it's all to achieve these main goals. So you're kind of doing, from what I can work out, you're doing these side quests in painting and decorating and redesign for people who live in the city to earn the money to do the stuff that's going to be your bread and butter in terms of sitting there and letting somebody pay you the rent and earning money that way. So that seems to be what it is. So you end up with like this main task on the left-hand side. You always have to keep at the back of your mind whilst fulfilling the day-to-day painting and decorating side of things. And when it comes to all of that, it is actually quite good. I would say that the abundance of choice is decent with things you can unlock as you go through. So when you are going through either your own property or you're redecorating somebody else's room, you've got plenty of things to choose from styles and different types of furniture. So it's not just one type of fridge, not just one type of cooker. You can have a choice, ranging with different prices depending on your budget. And the more you spend, the better the reward, whether that's a reward for the painting and decorating job or the reward for getting more rent from a tenant. That's the way it works. Plenty of choice. As I say, you've got the freedom to knock down walls, add walls. One thing that I would probably quite like in the way of furnishing is a way to type something that you want. So if you wanted to just bring up, I don't know, all coffee tables, type in the word table, it brings you up all your tables. It doesn't work like that. I can't see a search feature, and I think that would certainly be a good way of being able to give people a quicker and easier way to find the objects they want to put into the house. But it is what it is. So for the time being, you just have to browse through different living quarters. So click on the bathroom section, click on the bedroom section. It'll give you everything you need. And within each of these, you can technically use whatever you like, but to achieve the goals, so when you take on a job, you have to stick to certain criteria that they want you to do the job. So they might want a bath, but they're not too bothered about the shower, or vice versa. And as long as you're fulfilling those minimum requirements, you're fine. You can go over the top and do more if you want, but there is a minimum requirements. And each of the objects that you need will have a little green dot in the corner as to which ones are your bare minimums. There's a few optional items as well, but everything clicks together quite nicely. The objects slot into place really well. There's no physical snap-on points, so nothing snaps into corners or against other things with a sound or an effect. You can see just whether they're green or red, whether they're in place or not. But no real problems in that sense. Things just seem to work quite nicely. One thing I have noticed, the mission or objective that I was on, it was to do with renovating a room on a boat, and I fulfilled all of the criteria I had to do, and one of them was a boat decoration, and for the life of me I couldn't find the last boat decoration I needed from a list of objects I could add in. As far as I was concerned, I'd gone through everything I could and added everything I should, but ultimately I ran out of time and failed that one, so I didn't get any money, and I got poor reviews. You get reviews in the game, so the work that you do is rated. So if you do a really, really shoddy job, you'll get told you did a shoddy job. People won't like you, and presumably off the back of that, you would then struggle to get as well-paid jobs, and your reputation decreases. As you go through the game, you will do well to do well because you unlock items, so thus giving you more choice to put certain objects in your properties that you're doing. It is quite a good setup in that way. Apart from the fact I couldn't get through this boat mission, but that's potentially easily just my fault as much as anything else. I can see this becoming a bit repetitive and a bit samey, however. So although it looks quite nice and it all fits in quite nicely, doing the same thing over and over again, even if you're changing rooms, so you're doing a bedroom one day and a bathroom the next, you're still ultimately doing the same thing. And the tasks themselves, in that sense, are too similar for me. It's a list of things you need to put in the room, and it's just so easy to grab the items and you can literally just throw them into the room in any order, and it's the same thing over and over again until you achieve enough money or enough achievement points to move on to the next goal. However, all of this is in early access, and this particular version is a free trial, so I'm not expecting the world. Things will improve, they'll add new things to the game. The interaction on the phone system is, from what I can see, potentially quite good. The way you can interact with your tenants and other people in the game. So people have sort of popped up on the phone just saying, "Hi, I hear you're a up-and-coming landlord," and things like this. And you can't interact back as far as I can see. So you can't sort of pick someone on there and say, "I'm going to message you this and that." It doesn't work like that at the minute. But again, things that are likely to come in the future, I would have anticipated, as well as maybe expanding out into different areas of the city for you to go and do work on. But there's definitely enough to keep you interested and to do. I've not been bored with it, but I can just imagine that the game could, and I emphasize the word could, become repetitive. But as long as the variations of the tasks can change, the main task, not just the painting and decorating side of things that you're doing for other people, but the actual variation on the main task changes, I think it would be absolutely fine. You get plenty of enjoyment out of it. It's nice looking. It works well. I'll probably continue to have a go just to see how it progresses. I'm sure the devs will be improving the game as it goes on, and for the paid version, of course, which this one isn't. So yeah, not the worst thing I played, not the best thing I've played, but yeah, keep an eye out for any future videos I'm doing this, and don't forget to subscribe if you've enjoyed it, and we will see you in the next one. Take care.